Succession planning is a very sensitive topic because the connotation of succession is I am getting old.
It's human nature to not to think about death. In some cultures, it's even, against fate,
Often families will put off the idea of succession planning because it seems like such a huge task. But in fact, breaking it down into the different pieces gives everybody a sense that you're moving forward in a way that's both rational and is likely to be fair.
At the big picture, succession planning reflects the continuity, from one generation to another. It's like passing the baton.
Succession planning is important, and if you don't do it, you can lose the opportunity to have a shared vision among different generations. You miss an opportunity to prepare the next generation for the challenges they will face.
Ultimately, it isn't the individual so much as the roles that a family is trying to preserve.
Families have to be willing to let go of what has worked so beautifully so far before they can embrace the future. One of the models that we have developed that we find very useful conceptually in thinking about family development, we call it our transitional model. The model goes through 5 steps: preparation, disengagement from the system as it exists, then the middle step, which is the core one, which is exploration. Finding the right balance between thinking big, dreaming big about what's possible, and also being very realistic about what's viable in the world as it exists. Then at some point you have to make a decision, make a choice, implement the new system, and then commit to it. And the post-transition phase is extremely important because some families undermine all the good work they do by not fully committing to the new system.
You have to think not about the company that exists today, but about the company that you want to build in the future. And then pause and ask, what leadership talent do we need to get that company up and running?
And succession planning is not an event. It is something that takes many years.
To design a process around which successor candidates can be identified and trained and mentored, and that the handoff can take place as seamlessly as possible so that the business and the system isn't reliant on individuals themselves and vulnerable to the loss of those individuals, but in fact is resilient against that kind of loss and risk in the long run.
Doing it well really separates those families who thrive across these generational transitions and move forward in active ways versus those who stumble and have to spend a lot of time and energy and resources recovering from the transition.